Casting-wise, this movie is pretty much like the comedic equivalent of The Expendables. Okay, so we got the big funny guy cast out here. Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, David Spade, Kevin James, and Rob Schneider. I do like Adam Sandler's movies. I don't love them like I used to do when I was younger. It just so happens that Adam Sandler, like other comedic actors, like Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey, their best movies are their more dramatic ones, like Reign Over Me or Punch Drunk Love for Adam Sandler. Kevin James, I love The King and the Queens, but he really hasn't been in any good movies. The same story to Chris Rock, David Spade, and Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider, he's had mildly, and when I say mildly, I really mean it, enjoyable movies like The Hot Chick or The Animal, and Deuce Bigalows weren't that good. But with all those actors, none of them really have had a good movie, except for Adam Sandler. All the things I used to like about the Sandler and Dugan movies are not here. What Sandler movie used to have is they'd have, he'd have his own little comedic charm, and he was very funny, and there was always some sort of an emotional depth to it. While it was very cliche, and it was never very good, it was there, and it made some of the comedy funnier, and it gave the movie a different aspect. Another thing that I liked about the old Sandler movies is they used to have an interesting enough premise to get you through the hour-and-a-half plus runtime. Now this one has none of that. It does not have one single thing. There is no emotional side to this movie at all. And I'm actually kind of happy about that, because if it did have it, it would have butchered it so badly that my eyes would have started bleeding. The premise is a premise, and that is all. What I mean by that is it really is just a setup for some really lame and crappy humor. There is no thought whatsoever put into this plotline. It's meant, seriously, to have something to lean on for an hour and 40 minutes, and that does not work. We cannot do that. You cannot just have, a bunch of old friends are getting back together after a funeral, blah, blah, blah. It's so boring. It is not one least bit interesting. And the only thing that could even make that better is if the characters actually had some good interaction. You can tell they're having fun on screen because they're buddies in real life. But it doesn't make fun for us. Yeah, sure, every once in a while watching them interact is actually kind of fun because they have a nice bromantic chemistry. But beyond that, there's no substance whatsoever. There is no thinking before you laugh. It is cheap, cheap gag humor. Kevin James is the only one out of them that can make that physical humor work, because honestly, getting kicked in the balls and fart jokes aren't funny after a while, and old ladies doing sexual things, it's not funny! I didn't really give a shat's ass what happened for about 90% of this movie. There were some times where I was watching these five guys just talking, and it was pretty funny. I will admit that. I got some cheap chuckles, because honestly, I did not go into this movie expecting anything, and I honestly sat there with no expectations, nothing, and yet I was still shocked at how dumb and how stupid the filmmakers take their audience. And I seem angry, but it's just the fact that besides Toy Story 3, we've been just getting these crap movies, and this is just adding to the lot of them all. So I will admit, there are some fun moments, but just thinking back at how they could have made an enjoyable movie, they really could, by adding somewhat of a story to get these characters actually moving forward to doing something, putting them in a situation to react, to make it funny. That would have worked, but they just honestly put them together and like, alright guys, just start talking, kick someone in the balls every couple seconds, somebody fart, oh my god. Now, I met Adam Sandler at a baseball game about like 3 or 4 years ago. I even got his autograph. I forget what we got into, and I was like, dude, Adam Sandler, I love your movies. Wait, Bulletproof sucked. Balls! It just get something more interest. Them all. What the hell is this movie? What the fajita? I should cut this shit out.